Hey guys, Mopower here again. Going to be doing bonus Glitterhelm Caverns. It's the map you get after you complete the maps, the campaign and summit. Alright, so we're doing it on hard. The reason for this is it's a very easy map to AFK on, to power level characters, or for farm, mana, or gear. Alright, so what you're going to want to run is an aura spec monk and a tower spec apprentice. Very easy. My last video I did this with stats probably about 100, maybe 120 on a couple of them. Really, it's very easy to do. Since this is pretty much the last map you get, I would suggest you waiting, till you make sure you can do some of the others before you do this one. A good thing to try yourself out on would be insane ramparts or hard ramparts. If you can complete hard ramparts every time without a problem, you can probably do this one. Okay, so what we're doing is we're dropping a dual and snare and lightning or electricity aura pretty much just outside each one of the spawns. My guy keeps outrunning the mana. Alright, so you want to drop this one about here, and your goal is to get the backside of it right up here. This is where your stuff's going to go. Now this is being recorded on 7.10E, one of the newest patches. And with one of the last patches they changed the defense unit cost for each one of, or I should say for both the auras I use, the ensnare and the electric. So I had to rework my setup just a little bit. But the main reason I'm redoing this is people were wanting a little bit higher res on my videos, so I decided to go to 720. I was going to go to 1080, but honestly for the graphics on a game like this, I don't believe it's needed. I think 720 is just fine. Now in a game like Call of Duty or something, I might change that up. Alright, so oh, I did miss the one chest, but don't worry. Normally I have 600 at this point when I switch characters, but I'll grab it when I swap over there. Start talking, get distracted, no biggie. Alright, so now we're switching to the tower spec apprentice. You want to drop one magic missile about there in front of the crystal. That'll take care of the flyers for this first wave. Pretty much every single spawn for this first wave is going to get 2 magic missiles. And that'll cover the first wave. So I hope I do well with this 720 video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said, this is a very easy setup for AFKing on. I took a character, took one of my 70s, took all the gear off, deleted him, restarted at level 0, and was able to get him to level 70, and I believe it took 2.5 hours doing this map. So it took approximately 5 runs. Now with the amount of money you'll be making by farming this, you could very easily buy the XP bonuses. I think they're about 70,000 mana. And if you wanted to do that, I'd say probably after your second run, so do it between your second and third and your third and your fourth. You'd have a fair amount of more XP, level up a little quicker. But I did it without any bonuses just to show you what it would come out at, and it works fairly well. Alright. Now this is by far the easiest map I've found for power leveling on, and you can swap in your power level character after this next wave, after you finish setting up your defenses, and then just sit back, AFK, and enjoy the XP. Alright, so this very first one, actually there's one thing I did forget to do. What you're going to want to do, just in case some mobs will wander up here, about 1, maybe 2 mobs. Every couple maps you'll see one wander up that way. But normally as long as you don't run by here while the mobs are spawning, you're fine. And yeah, I should have taken my pet off. People are going to start asking me why my stuff's shooting so fast. Well, this little pet right here, fully upgraded Huntress Guardian, 37 upgrades, has the range and power. What's nice about this is it pretty much makes my towers shoot twice as fast, but this is not needed for this tutorial. I just forgot to take it off this character. So don't get confused with as fast as my guys shoot. This is definitely not needed. Okay, so for this top spawn, wall, fire tower, and I need more mana. Another fire tower here. This will completely take care of this spawn. Don't forget your mana down this way. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but to me it seems like the mana tends to go to you a lot slower than it used to. I'm not sure if that's just my imagination or if that's true. It just seems like my guys tend to outrun the mana a lot quicker than they used to. Alright, so for this one, 2 fireball towers on that side, 1 extra one here. The reason why I put an extra tower here is that the amount of distance that is traveled from the spawn point to your walls is the shortest on the map, so I tend to dump an extra tower there. Just in the oddball chance you get, say, 2 red ogres on the 9th or 10th wave there. That is your worst case scenario for this map, but it can still be done without any player involvement. So, alright, so this one, fire tower, and another fire tower here. Something different I've done recently, switch this up. You put one backwards, cover this stairwell if anything comes down. But I've gone to putting striker towers here. You want to put them clear out at the very edge. One pointed at that spawn, pretty much over that pillar. The other one over here. Again, right out on the edge, pointed that way. I guess you could put them over here too, but that works as well. And what this does is these towers will pretty much one-shot anything that comes down. Works pretty well. Now I tried that setup a couple months back before, I think I was in the 50s or so, and I couldn't spare the extra resources to put those there because of the lower damage on everything else. So what I ended up doing is going back to magic missiles. Well, the other night I got to give props to my buddy. He reminded me about it. It's like, hey, let's use strikers. Sure enough, it works a lot better now with somewhat decent stats. So I guess I'll have to give my buddy props, Ponographer. So it does work better. Very easy to get flawless. Even though this guy is pretty slow, he's still is almost running out of away from the mana. They've got to have slowed that down. Anywho, 2 magic missiles, 3 fireball towers. There we go. I've just got a couple walls to place and we're done. I'll go ahead and start this wave. And that's it. 165 out of 165. I'm going to come down here so that my pet's not in range of those towers, so you don't think that it needs the buff for the attack speed. It definitely does not. I'll actually switch characters for the rest of the video so you can see that. Now another nice thing with using all your defensive units, you get a bonus called Master Builder. And what that does is it gives you a higher score, as well as if you don't attack and your pet doesn't attack anything, you will get one called Master Strategist, and that means you got all just tower kills, and that'll also increase your score. wanted to get a guy that didn't have a buff pet, so you can see what it does. Anywho, so Master Strategist will give you an increase in score. Master Builder, for using all your units, increase in score. And then you also have the option of doing Flawless. If you can keep your crystal from being attacked at all on all the waves, you'll get Flawless, which is a pretty big bump in score. Now the reason, most people are saying, oh well, I'm 70, why do I need a higher score? Well, for one, it's nice to see what your score can be, and for two, when you're leveling a low level character, the higher your score is, the more XP they're going to get. So it's nice to get those little bonuses, and with this setup, it is a very easy thing to do. The worst problem for getting the extra bonuses and awards, mainly Flawless, was this crystal right here. And I gotta make sure I'm not close to that spawn. If you stand over here during a wave, a lot of times you'll get mobs come off, and the worst part is the bomber guys, because they'll run straight down, and before this tower can take them out, they'll blow up your crystal. I mean, they won't take it out, but what they'll do is they'll cause damage, and then you won't get Flawless. So if you're going to stand down here, stand as far over in this corner as you can, so you're out of range of them, or down below. Down below works as well. But yeah, the main reason for not getting Flawless was these flyers, especially the ones that come from this side. They come in a couple different ways. They can come in over the top real high, they can come down low and curve around this pillar. And with magic missile towers, they were doing okay, but for one, they couldn't shoot through this. They're not allowed to do that. And the shorter range, they just weren't quite able to take out the towers, take out the wyverns before they got at least one attack off. And all it takes is one attack for the entire map, and you lose your bonus. So, as you can see here, these things are one-shotting the flyers. Works very well. The main reason I switched to these is they have the longer range, which allows them to be killed before they even get really onto these platforms, the map here. They'll die when they're still over the lava. Now, even if your stats aren't real high, like I said, 100 to 120, and this is very doable. For a monk, I would do try to boost up your tower attack and your tower speed, I think, are the two. Speed increases the attack rate of your auras, and then tower attack obviously is how strong the lightning is going to be. So, and I'm not sure if the strength increases the ensnare, like it slows them down more. I haven't really seen that. It stands to reason it would, but I don't know 100% for sure. Yeah, so that it's very easy to do. If you use this map for power leveling purposes, chances are you've got at least one character that's high enough level excuse me, to start doing this, and then if you use this to power level the other characters, it won't take you long at all to get up to the point where all your characters are 70. And again, if you're not quite high enough level to do this map, oh shoot, this guy's gonna come through. That's why you don't get that close. Damn it. Yeah. So just try not to stand down here. Unfortunately, those guys see you and they come over, and I was talking, not paying attention. So yeah, try not to stand down here during the waves. Stay up here if at all possible. So yeah, because of that, I lost both my Flawless and my Master Strategist since I tried to attack him and stop him from hitting it. But yeah, so this is the best place to sit when you're power leveling. Nothing's going to attack you over here. But yeah. And now I do have a couple other videos. This is wave 10, or wave 9 rather. Maybe we'll get a double ogre spawn either. Well, this wave's over, but maybe next wave. Something I would recommend doing, probably at least starting on wave 8. Go around and check the chests and the gear. The devs said that the better gear is going to be dropping like 9 and 10, though I have gotten some stuff dropping on 8. This isn't insane, so you're not going to get the real good uber loot, but you'll get some decent stuff to start gearing your characters. So, but as you run around, chances are, if your stats aren't very good, your auras, especially this one, This guy here, actually it's not too bad. This one and the one down at the bottom of the bridge are the ones that tend to take the most damage. And for some reason I'm getting some lag. But the way the auras work, the longer the mobs are in the aura, the more they degrade, and the lower their health gets. So the way on most maps I try to set it up so that my towers, their max range is right to the edge of the aura, so I can start shooting them as they come into the aura, so they're not, you know, wearing down my auras before they get into range. Seems to work real well. My preferred method for pretty much any map is or any insane map at least, is dual auras with fireball towers, 1 or 2 fireball towers, and that'll cover pretty much any spawn on insane, with the exception of this map. With the changes to insane health and the ogre health and all that stuff, you can't do this one on insane with this setup anymore. We've got an ogre coming here, ogre up top. So like I said, this is the fastest spot for them to get into range. So, but they'll take them out. Anyways, as far as insane on this setup used to work before they buffed insane mobs. And nowadays, the best setup I've found for insane, Vicious, if you guys are familiar with his videos, he's got a setup for it that uses Squire, Monk, and Apprentice. And it works pretty well, but even though my guys have higher stats than his characters, you still end up losing your defenses on the 10th wave. In his video he lost quite a lot of his, and never fails. I've done it probably about a dozen times, and I always lose something. So pretty much the 9th and 10th waves, you're running around trying to kill as much as you can, taking out the ogres before they break through your walls because of the ridiculous amount of health that they have now. So as you see, I didn't attack any ogres. Wave 10 is over as soon as this little summoner, you know what, I already attacked somebody, so let me go ahead and attack him. Sometimes I'll get stuck on this corner, but if you give them a little bit of time, they'll come around. It takes maybe 15-20 seconds. So. And that was it, guys. Thanks for watching. Feel free to check out my other videos in the description. Thanks.